Okay, hi. So I'm going to explain how to do factorization. So look at the one part H, right? So you have this minus 6x squared minus 12xy minus 4xz minus 8yz. What we mean by factorization is to take out the common factors and simplify. So let's say you see here in these two terms we have the common factor x, and then in these two terms we have the common factor z. So what we can do, right, and there's actually, we can also take it that there's actually a common factor 6, right? So what we can do is, for this one I will factorize out a minus 6x. So if I factorize out a minus 6x, then this term has to be divided by minus 6x, which will leave me with x. And then when the second term, minus 12xy divided by minus 6x, will just be 2y. So up to here. So if I multiply this minus 6x into it, I'll have minus 6x squared, and minus 6x multiplied to 2y will be minus 12xy. So for these two terms, I would take out the common factor minus 4z, right? Because let's say if I do take out minus 4z, then I have x plus 2y. Okay, so because if I multiply this back in, I will get this. We can try it out. Okay, so now the intention for factorizing in this way is so that I can spot that there's another common factor between these two terms now. So then I will just factorize out the x plus 2y, and then I'm left with minus 6x minus 4z. So if I'm going to multiply this entire term back in, you will realize that x plus 2y will be multiplied to minus 6x to give me this term, and x plus 2y will be multiplied to minus 4z, and it will give me this term. So you need to know your distributive rule, meaning let's say if 3 multiplied to 2 plus 4 is the same as 3 multiplied to 2 plus 3 multiplied to 4. So these are the things that you need to know. You need to know that the distributive rule first before you come to this learning this factorization. And then we might want another example. So maybe I just, so you might want this example. So for example, xy one part b, x, the simple example, minus x plus y minus 1. So if I factorize it, between these two terms the factor is x, so I take out x and I get a y minus 1, then plus y minus 1, which is coming from here. So I realize there's a common factor. So it's always separated by a plus or minus, and we find common factors in terms that are separated by a plus or minus, so not times or divide. So here when we see that there's two common factors between these two terms separated by a plus, then I go and factorize out the y minus 1, and what I'm going to get is x plus, because actually there's a 1 multiplied this, right? So because y minus 1 is just 1 times y minus 1, so actually we have y minus 1 over x plus 1. This is a fully factorized form. Okay, so that's it.